kind of nonsense conversation we're having here.
The Neon Ghost Show. The Neon Ghost Show. Right here on Rainier... what's it? Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Right about now.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world. I'm so tired. I have to pee.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit kingcounty.gov.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Check us out on social media. Facebook and Instagram, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, and on Twitter at Rainier Ave Radio.
Would you like to see when your favorite Rainier Avenue Radio show comes on? Check out our show schedule, updated weekly at RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Everyone, and hi, how's everybody doing?
Hi,
Violeta.
Hello, how are you?
Fine. Nice to see you. Thanks for helping us with the show, Daniel. Great. Well, before we get started, my name is Tina Lombard, and I am with Bank of England.
I'm Violeta Strash, and I'm with Coldwell Banker Danforth in Federal Way.
Yes. And so we want to welcome you to the show. We're going to start again with some updates. Then after that, we're going to be talking about investment properties. Now you can get your hands on some.
Yeah, there you go. Should I go ahead and start?
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm looking at because my screen is up there and my camera's right down here. So, all right, bear with me. We have in King County in the past week 252 homes that have sold, 210 homes went pending, 318 homes were sold at an average of $1,180,000 compared to $1,080,000 last year. So $100,000 difference. That's quite a bit there. And for August, now I can report on August. Days on the market. Last year we had 12 days. Now it increased by 14 days this year to 26 days on the market for you sellers out there. And then percent of the list price, interestingly enough, last year 106% to the list price, and right now it's 100. I've been reporting that it's been 100% straight on every week now for quite a while, and it's still 100%. And then showings per listing. 9 showings this year compared to 16 last year, difference of 7 showings. And then showings to get to pending sellers, we're looking at 19 showings versus 23 last year. So a little less than it was a year ago in August. Now in Pierce County, we are looking at 137 homes that got listed and 97 homes are pending right now, and 175 homes sold, an average price of $649,000 compared to last year's price of $632,000. For August, for this year, days on the market, 32 days. Again, almost 3 weeks more than the 14 days on the market last year. Percent to the list price, right now, 100%. Last year, it was 103% above list price, or just 3% above the list price. Showings per listing, 6 showings this August compared to 9 last year. And then showings to get to pending, 14 showings, and 15 was the number showing to get to pending last August. In Snohomish County, active listings right now, 95 I'm seeing double digits in quite a while. It's always been triple, right? Triple digits. But in the past week, only 95 homes were listed. So there's the problem that a lot of real estate agents are having, not enough inventory to sell. But 89 homes went pending last week, and 154 homes sold, an average price of $816,000 compared to $841,000 last August. And then days on the market, 32 days this last month, I should say, and then 16 days last August. So a difference of just slightly over 2 weeks. Percent on list price, what do you think? 100% right now versus 103 last year. And then showings per listing, 8 showings compared to 9 showings last August, and then showings pending 14 this August compared to 15 for last year. So it's pretty flat. But yes, folks, we're at the end of summer and we're looking at things kind of slowing down. Not a lot of inventory out there again, but motivated buyers are still going to be looking, and I believe they'll be looking because what's ahead of us? The holidays. But before we get to that, we'll be talking about, Tina and I will be talking about investment properties, and there are certain things that are hopping right now, and we'll get to those situations in a second. So Tina, take it away with mortgage minutes.
Yes, thank you, Daniel. Go ahead and pull those interest rates up. And I know the interest rates are moving up ever so slightly. It's an average rate right now of 7.25 throughout the U.S. And that's kind of, it's not going in the direction that we desire it, but it is going up. So the interest rate for 30 years is at 7.185, which is a breath away from 7.2. The APR is a national average of 7.256. Now, if you go down to the 5-year arm, the 5-year arm is slightly a little higher, or actually slightly a little lower, 7.120. And the APR for that 5-year arm is at 7.868. So it's costing you more for that 5-1 arm, and it's just ever so slightly lower than the 30-year fix. So if you look at the APR, 7.868 for a 5-year, and an APR for a 30-year is 7.256. So the 30-year is beating out the 5-year right now. If you look at the 30-year fixed FHA rates, the average rate is 5.968 with an average APR of 6.853. So that's a lot better than a 30-year fix. So if somebody is out there and you're looking at a home that is within the FHA county limits, go ahead and compare the county limits go ahead and compare the rates for a conventional versus an FHA loan. That would really, really make a big difference in some cases. A 30-year fixed VA rate is at 6.317. Now, a lot of people do know this, but if you do have VA benefits, VA still goes up to 100%. Whereas somebody that is taking a conventional loan, they may take out a lower rate at 80% of the value of the home. Then they'll get a down payment of 10 or 15% behind that. And usually that 10 or 50% may be a point or two higher than the first mortgage. With a VA loan, you can get the whole 100% at a low rate. And 6.317 is very good. So if you have VA benefits, you want to look at that. And if you go down just ever so slightly, Daniel, you'll see that the 30-year fixed as of this moment, as of Tuesday, September 5th, at this point of time, the 30-year fixed is at 7.256. So it's going up ever so slightly as the day goes on. And if you look at the trends right there, the blue is the 30-year fixed. And yeah, the rates are kind of going up and down, but if you look at it, it's actually trending upwards. So if you're going to make a move, go ahead and do that now. This would be the best time to do that. Thank you, Daniel. And just really quick, I was looking at the statistics for Denver, the Denver housing unit. So once again, the closed transactions and the road ahead, the initial Denver housing market forecast predicted a decrease of 8 to 13% in closed transactions. The updated estimate suggests a reduction of 23 to 28% on closed transactions for the entirety of the year 2023. So things are slowing down as far as transactions are concerned, and a lot of that has to do with the mortgage rates. And here, this real estate investments, it's Norada Real Estate Investments, it's saying the impact of mortgage rates on the housing market is undeniable. So for over the past 18 months, the correlation between mortgage rates and the market activity has been strictly clear. With rates escalating between 6 to 7%, the housing market's momentum has faced challenges. So of course, the Federal Reserve, it's all tied together. But houses were starting to get out of control. The prices of houses started going up, 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 up. So what the government does to stem houses getting out of range and out of price and inflation on houses, they raise the interest rates to deter people from buying. And that's what's going on. The market is now starting to correct itself, where house prices started going up like crazy. The government's trying to make them go more level, so that more people can get in the house and market, and they don't. We don't price people out of the market in coming years. So the interest rates you want to watch carefully when them going up. It's basically saying that houses still need to be corrected in pricing. So what does that mean to the average person? Well, the reason why they're paying higher interest rates is because they don't want you to pay 20% on a home, the same home a year from now. They're trying to make sure that everything is just trending and everybody's just settling down here. COVID gave us 2.75 rates, 3.25 rates, and then the prices of houses start going out of control. So basically the government is saying, settle down now. Let's stop overpricing houses and calm everybody down so we can all afford houses. So that's basically what's going on right now. That is our market. So thank you.
And Tina, don't you think, though, that the value of homes are still going to go up, but not as high as it used to? It'll just be slowly, but the value of your home is never going to go down.
Yes. I mean, there's no denying. I mean, the rates, houses go up like this. If your house goes like this, goes up and go down, temporarily the house market may flatten just out just a little bit, or maybe decrease slightly, ever so slightly. But in overall, if you keep the house 5 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, you're going to see an increase. And that's what the market has always dictated to us. So, there are outlining areas where you're a little town or something, the economy completely dispersed and there is no economy. So those house values went down. But overall, real estate is a very, very good option for investments. And as I say, most of the real millionaires out there made their money, and billionaires, off of real estate.
Yes. So I talked to one of them at a wedding this weekend. Actually, to talk to two different parties about real estate at that wedding. One of them was the millionaires that have several homes in the LA area, the Malibu Beach and all that, and wondering what to do next with money that they have. Should they go somewhere, or even sell their personal home and find another place to live that's not so crazy as the LA area? And I said, now's still a good time. Again, look at behind me, sunflowers. To me, that's kind of fall-ish. And so people are going to be looking at the end of summer. They're looking now to move into a home before the holidays. And so these people, I say, it's always a good time to buy because, the interest rates are going to be up. Years ago, they were paying 17% interest rate on homes they had purchased then. Right. They refied on a home during COVID, got one of the low rates, 2.8 is what was said. And so that was awesome on one of their homes. And I think they refied 3 of their 4 homes and now looking to buy something else. I said, buy something now. Why not? If you have the money, put that money to build equity. And I always tell people, never look at renting as an option. If you can buy something now, do it, refinance when those rates go down. And I said that to the other couple I was talking to at the wedding, that no, don't tell people, you got to wait for the interest rates to go down. Who knows when that's going to be? Might continue to keep going up. But
and that's the issue. That's the issue right now. You've got people who bought a house like maybe, 2 or 3 years ago, and they got the 2.3 rate, the 3.1 rate. And now they've got a lot of equity in their house because the market continued to improve. And so these people are saying, instead of like selling my house and taking the equity out and buying another house, I'm just going to stay here at 2.75%. My payment's only $1,200 a month. If I should take any equity out and buy another house, my payments may go up to $4,000. So what you have is a stagnation of people who actually always turn over. So I'm not quite sure what the average life of the house is in Washington State, but it's like a national average of like 8 years. So people who may be moving or may have moved, they refinanced their house they bought 10 years ago at 2.7, and their mortgage is like $1,600, and they're like, well, I could buy another house, but my payment is going to triple. So what do you do? So we have a lot of people now who have bought houses. They've been in their houses for 5 years, and they refinanced the 2.7, and they got a lot of cash, and they don't know what to do. So a lot of them are taking out even home equity loans or taking out some retirement, and they're taking advantage of the market, and they're buying new homes that are at a discount because the interest rates are higher. So they're buying it like crazy. So I was telling Violeta that, I have so many loans right now. I'm closing left and right and left and upside down, backwards, investment properties. So a lot of people are saying, hey, the interest rates are high and a lot of these people don't want to buy houses. Well, we're going to buy them. We're going to make them into Airbnbs. We're going to make them into rentals. We're going to flip them. We're going to do something, but we're not going to sit here idle. Whether the market is high or not, we're going to take advantage of this. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And in particular, we're going to be talking about fix and flips. Right, Tina?
Yes. So V, tell us a little bit. Do you have some pictures there?
I do, Daniel. Here's some samples of fix and flips in the area. Here in Columbia City, we are. So I'm going to take you on a little tour around the Pacific Northwest, and here is one in Columbia City. It's only a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and typically they are fixer-uppers. They are always saying in the marketing remarks, "Attention investors." So that tells you right there, there's got to be a lot of stuff to fix inside, right? And so they're looking for qualified, serious buyers. That one was 1-bedroom, 1-bath for $345. Now this one is in Auburn. So we're going south to Auburn and looking at this home that is 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. Small. These are relatively small homes for selling at $349. So there's exceptional values in these. Oh, here's one. What a mess in Edgewood, of all things, Edgewood. And this house, Tina and I had talked about this house in Edgewood, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths for $250. What happened here? There was a fire that devastated the roof, and ceiling collapse. Everything down below was tragically affected, and so they need to unload this thing and get out from under that. So for an investor, $250, why not? I don't know how much it's going to take to fix it, but why not? Then we move on to North Tacoma for this little house, and that last one was on the larger side. I was amazed. And this one is again a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $299 in North Tacoma. So in the heart of the 6th Avenue Proctor district, right? That's a pretty nice area. And so if you're looking to for a fixer-upper in North Tacoma, here's one of them. Then we go on to the west to Port Orchard. And this one doesn't say how many bedrooms and a 3/4 bath. So again, in the remarks, property has all the opportunity for the right buyer. Large 2-bay shop with incredible potential. Always those words, incredible and potential. Previously used for a woodworking shop. For $250,000, you can get this 1,100 square foot, almost a half an acre lot.
Wow.
Okay, and then just for kicks, we go back up north. You can buy a houseboat. Look at this. You can buy a houseboat on Lake Union for $125,000, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. And so it's something different, right? And it's not a house, but do you finance houseboats, Tina?
No, there's no land.
There's
no land. But I tell you what, I think before, I'm not sure if they're still there, but Viking Bank up north used to do that in Ballard, and Key Bank does have some options, but there's no land, so it's not the same.
Right.
But very, very good idea, though. I was going to rent a houseboat when I moved out of my parents' house, because yes, indeed, that's a good buy. But really quick, those are some beautiful houses. If those houses were in tip-top shape, they wouldn't be worth $250. They'd be worth $450 perhaps, or maybe $300,000, $500,000. And so these are which are good buys. And so what we want to show you, what we were trying to show you here, are different type of houses that are somewhat dilapidated for whatever reason, fire, or the owners actually just could not repair it.
Right.
So you can purchase these loans and you could actually just buy them for your own. You know, you can actually buy them and make them into an investment property where you either Airbnb it or you put renters in there and you get positive cash flow, and then you can appreciate the value of the property. And then there are other things you can do. You can actually just renovate the loan. There are some, and what Via is talking about here with fix and flips. Fix and flips are homes where you fix it, you buy it, you fix it, and then you flip it and you sell it. So let's say you buy it for $250,000 and you do all the necessary repairs. Maybe you put $50,000 worth of repairs in there, and now you have $300,000 into it. But then you're able to sell it for $400,000. Then you have a $100,000 profit, nice net profit. So that's a fix and flip. An investment property is where you just buy the property and you do a few repairs on it, so on and so forth, and then you go ahead and sell it or buy it or keep it or whatever you want to do. And there are renovation loans where you can actually take a home and just completely renovate it and invest it, or you can buy it for yourself. But what V is showing you here, what we're trying to show you here, there are other houses. You don't have to buy something that's just pristine and just beautiful and pay top dollar. You know, if you are a contractor, if you have somebody who does contracting, so on and so forth, you know, buy the house and do your own repairs. So there are two types of repairs that we do, V. There are some houses where it is not livable. You can't live in it. You know, like the roof is burned because of a fire. There are no appliances in it. You know, everything is gutted. Everything is in disarray. Nobody can live in it at this point. That's a certain type of loan. And those are more for the fix and flips because you have to fix it and flip it. Some investment properties, there may be a little bit of ugliness. You can put some lipstick on it, you know, and make it a nice house or do some minor repairs. And as long as the house is livable, it doesn't have to be beautiful, but as long as it's livable, you can go in there, fix it, and make it even more livable. And, you know, put marble this and marble that, and, you know, and redo the appliances and fix up to a point where it's nice. Now, maybe the previous seller, the previous owner, just, you know, maybe they were elderly, maybe it was somebody who just didn't know how to fix a house, but they just couldn't afford, or they don't have the wherewithal to fix the house. So they're selling it as is. But that's also very prime for an investor to come in there, take it, fix it up, put a renter in there, or they can sell it later on down the line. So, I've got some flyers that I sent you, Daniel. I'm wondering if you've got those, and if you can show a couple of those. And what we want to show you, there are different types of loans. There are some loans here where you just put, let's say, 20% down. And with that 20% down, this right here, I know it's, if you have real good eyesight, you could probably read it, but this is an investment cash flow loan. And with these investment cash flow loans, if you put 20% down, basically as long as you, as your rent that you're getting on that property is more than your mortgage, then you get the loan. Okay, so those are investment cash flow properties because we know that the home is going to it's going to make more money with the rent. As long as the rent is more than the mortgage, then we know it's positive cash flow, and that's why we allow you to do the loan with us. And there's another flyer there. Do you have another one, Daniel, that has bigger print? Oh, okay, a little bit bigger print. This here also talks about the investment cash flow, and it is encouraging you, hey, as long as you've got a certain credit score, you've got at least 20% down, you've got some reserves, you know, we can go ahead and get a house for you. Let's say you buy a house at $500,000 and 20% of that is $100,000. You put that in there, and let's say your payments are $4,000 a month. Let's say that your rent is $4,500 a month. Then you have positive cash flow, and this is something that we can do. So we can do this on duplexes.
Do they care how much, Tina? How much more than your mortgage? Does it have to be?
One.
Is there a number?
$1? Yeah. So just one. So in other words, the percentage is 1. So in other words, if you have a house and the payments are $3,500 a month for your mortgage, the rent is $3,500 a month. Fine. Now, traditional investment companies, investment loans, let's say that you put in the rent is $4,000 a month, and the mortgage is $4,000 a month. Well, traditional bank investment loans, they're going to only take 75% of that $4,000. So they take 75% because they allow for taxes and repairs and depreciation. With these investment cash flow loans, we give 100% credit on the rental. We don't care about that. Now, with these houses, of course, you've got to be to a point where you can buy it and you can put somebody in it. They're not going to get away. You're not going to get away with holes in the floor. You know, the roof in disrepair. You know, appliances off. You know, gutter and everything not working, water not working. So with these properties, there's got to be a point where somebody can actually walk in there and live in it. So when I got my very first house in Rainier Valley, it was a repossessed HUD home. So it was repossessed. We got there and there was like dog scratches all over the wall. You know, there was paint all over the place. Nothing was clean. And the yard had like 2 feet tall grass. You know, there's glass everywhere. I'm like, Mom, what are you trying to do to me? My mother found it. I'm like, what are you trying to do to me? And we got in there. We bought the house, cleaned it up, stripped the walls. Stripped the floors, you know, put new paint on there and We fixed everything, put cabinets in. The house was just beautiful, but it was a place where we had to go in. It was livable. It wasn't up to our standards, but very quickly we went in there and did a lot of just cosmetic repair, stuff that me and my husband could do. And it was very, very easy, and the house was beautiful. So something like that is what I'm talking about here. So either you can buy it for yourself, you can do a renovation loan if you want to, or you can just do an investment loan. Hey, that place has got a better price on it because it's dilapidated, but people can live in it. So as an investor, I'm going to snatch it up. I'm going to put some little repairs on that, or get some people to repair it, and then I'm going to either flip it, or I'm going to put a renter in there, and they can rent for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we'd like to do. Now I'm going to give you one more loan. I don't have a flyer on it now, but there is a fix and flip loan, and we do 100% funding on that fix and flip loan.
Wow.
Okay. So we do 100
down payment on that. I mean, yeah. What's the down payment on a fix and flip, Tina?
It's zero. It's 100% financing. Yes. It's a 9-month loan. It's right around, it's not 7%. It's not 8%. It's higher. It's a little higher depending on your credit score, so on and so forth. And we can complete, let me see. You need to have at least $50,000 in cash reserves. So we're not going to just give it to you and then you just, for whatever reason, you don't have any more funding. So you have to have at least $50,000 in reserves. So these programs here, they're very, very good for the seasoned investor.
Yeah.
The seasoned investor. So the fix and flip. I'm not quite sure if you can do I-10 with the fix and flips, but I know with the I-10 loans, we can do the cash flow investment property, so on and so forth. You require 20% down. But if you have somebody who's a fix and flipper, they bought property before, they know how to repair it, and they know how to put it right back on the market, this is beautiful because it's 0%. Okay. So we don't care about how much money you make or where do you work and blah, blah, blah. We don't care about all that. Do you have $50,000 in reserves? Do you know what you're doing? Is the value of the house going to be ABC when you get done with your repairs? And what are your expenses? So right now, I was telling, there's a lot of people who are sitting like this, and they're not going to pay over 7%, 6% for a house. They're just not going to do it. So we fine, let them be. Okay. When the rates go back down to 5 or 4 or 3, great, they can do their thing. But right now, if you're an investor and you're sitting on a bunch of equity in your home, you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars in retirement just kind of sitting there. This is the type of loan for you. Go out there, buy some houses, fix them up, and sell them. Or fix them, put some renters in there and get some positive cash flow. And right now, the market is shifting. Us mortgage lenders know the person coming in saying, I got 50% to put down. I want to go buy a house at 8%. Okay, that's not going to happen right now. Okay, so if we want to stay in the market and if we want to take advantage of the market, we really have to go towards investors and houses. And we're going to have to find another way of making money in the real estate market. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if that makes sense, I've got a client now. He bought 5 rental properties in Connecticut and Boston. Wow. He bought them like $180,000, and I refinanced them, and those houses went up to like $280,000, $300,000 in 2 years. And he's got like 3 to 5 units in these properties, and so he's making money. Nice. And he's not asking me, Tina, what's the interest rate? He's not asking me that because it doesn't matter. Because as long as the rental market in that area is really, really strong, and your mortgage is less than the rent, you're going to get appreciation, you're going to get cash flow, and the value of that house is going to go up. So in one house he bought for $180, and then the property value went up to $320 in 2 years. Then you do the math. He made $170,000, $150,000 in those 2 short years, as long as there's positive cash flow. So if it makes sense right now, if you're just sitting there, you got several $100,000 sitting around, you got a 2.1 rate, and your mortgage right now, you really don't want to make a move. Well, go ahead and buy some investment properties. That may be the move to make in this season.
The fix and flips, there's a lot of construction workers in the area. Mm-hmm. I don't know about in Denver, but there is a ton of people here. And if they work so hard, they only had time to save the money. So they have that money, mm-hmm. and they can get into investment property this way or start their fix and flip. And why not? Why not do that?
Yeah, give us a call. Let us walk you through it. It's a lot easier than you think, but at least give us a call if you're interested. Yeah. But that's all we have. We have some announcement there, V?
Yeah, just real quick. This Friday, it's the start of the 2023 Metro League football season, beginning at Memorial Stadium. 2 big games: 5 p.m. Chief South at Lakeside, and then 7:45 p.m. right after that game, we have Lincoln at Garfield. So those are 2 huge matches this coming weekend. So again, tune in and watch our coverage of Metro League football. Thank you. for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday at 2:30. I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Baker Danforth.
And I'm Tina Lombard with Bank of England.
Okay. All right. Thank
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.